Okay, so the first thing we're going to do for step 3 to get ready for the knife cutter is there's a bunch of steps, okay? We're going to take our SketchUp and make an OBJ. Then we're going to put it into Slicer and make a DXF. Then we're going to open up the DXF in AutoCAD and clean it up and add some colors to it. And then we're going to save that PDF. Okay, so I'm going to do the first couple parts of that, and then I'll come back for a new video for the last part. So the first one is to take, this is my scaled model. It's small, it's correct, and I want to make something called an OBJ file, object file. And I want to make sure that Y direction is up. Here's how I do it. I go to File, click, Export, click, 3D model, click, and then you wait for a second. It'll come up in a moment. There it is, and I have to select what kind of file, and I want the one called OBJ, object file, object file. And then I got to go to the options and make sure it says Y is up. Yeah, Y is up. Okay, so, and I'll just use model units, that's fine. Okay, export. And where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it into that same folder that it's been in. Remember, everything is going in one folder. Export. And okay, 224 faces isn't too bad. I'm okay there. Okay. Now I'm done with SketchUp for now. So I can close SketchUp. And I've already opened Slicer. Here's what Slicer looks like. I've already opened it. It takes a little while, just like everything. And I'm going to import that OBJ file. Now I got to go find it. It is so hard to find sometimes. I'm going to go to my computer. And I think it is the V drive. Okay, you'll have to look around and make sure. I'm pretty sure it's the V drive. Yep, there's my spring. There's my Florinda and my demo. There it is. That's the one I just was working on. So I'm going to open that up. And there it is. Okay, now the next thing I've got to do, it's in there, and that's cool. And it looks like a pretty good file. It's all got all of its parts and everything. I have to set up my manufacturing. So the first thing I need to do is get a paper size. And we're actually cardboard. So I need to create a new one. Create a new one. And our cardboard is 48 inches. 48 with a width of 48. And it's actually 0.25 thick. Now I can change that later on as I go. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to choose that one I just made. Okay, and this thing, I see that it's only 4 by 8, and I remember that it was about 12, actually about 14 by a little bit more than that. So let's make that 14. 14 by 24, that's about what it was. So now that's about the size I want it to be. Now I'm going to do construction. Stacked slices. Stacked slices. And look, it pretty much fits on one page. Look at this. This is actually coming out pretty good. Here's my sewers. I've got probably a couple of extra pieces, but I can see there's my building pads. There's my contour. This is where the houses on Florinda are. There's 2 houses over here. Here's the bike path. Here's where all the trees are. This is looking good. And it's fitting on one page. That's amazing. I might have to change things, but in this case, I don't. Let's look and see how it's assembled. Go to the assembly steps, and there's all my pieces of cardboard. grab it from the end. I'm holding the mouse button down, coming over here, and I'm just going to click through it. There's a part, there's another part, another part, there's another one. Cool. These are all the little pieces parts that stack together to make it. And so my goal is to cut these out. There. So this is my piece of cardboard that I'm allowed to use from the sign shop, and everything fits on one. There's a little bit of waste, but not bad. Everything's looking pretty good. So I'm going to go get my plans. Get plans. I want to choose a DXF, and I'm going to export it to my computer. Export. And it's a DXF, and what is this one? It's Florinda ROS 0067 scale factor 0067 knife cut. Now I've just named the whole thing, so that's pretty good. There we go. That's the first step in the process. The last thing I want to do here, if I have to come back to this and redo it, I want to have this saved. So I'm going to go to the slicer tab, and I'm going to save to my computer. And this doesn't save that DXF. This is going to save this whole file with all of these settings. A 3D maker file is what it is. So this is Florinda. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get rid of the DXF thing. There we go. That's what I want to save it as. And I'm putting it all in that same folder, all in the same folder. So there we go. I'm set. That's where I want to go. That is the first. Export SketchUp to OBJ, then import OBJ to Slicer for Fusion, slice it, and save the DXF. That's enough for this video right now.